Good morning, everyone. There's always such an awkward delay in me getting to my spot after pushing start, so y'all get to see me sit there blank-faced. But anyway, welcome to yoga. Today we're going to be doing about 30 minutes of yoga stretch. I do have some light music in the background. Hopefully you can hear it, but all you're going to need is just a mat or something that you can have below you to kind of keep you in the same spot. And take your shoes off, get comfortable. Make sure you have a surface where you're not going to slip. And yeah, we're going to get going in just a second. I have to keep the end of my yoga mat down with my water and my notebook because it's been rolled up because we haven't done yoga in so long. So I'm glad we can do yoga today. It's been a while. All right, good. Pam, you can hear the music. Good, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start standing. So just come to the top of your mat or wherever you want to begin. Make sure you have some room behind you as we move down length on our mat. Okay, so we're going to start. Bring your hands to heart. Pull your shoulders back and down. Tuck your chin down slightly. Take some deep breaths. Feet are together, thighs are together. You can close your eyes if you want. Just breathing, relaxing. Notice where you might be holding tension. Just try to release that throughout our practice today. On your next big breath, we're going to bring the hands up all the way overhead. Then we're going to release the hands, go swan dive out to the side and fold over your legs. All the way down. And once you're there, we're going to cross the arms, grab your elbows, tuck your chin, and just hang here. Sway side to side if you want. And release your hands. And we're going to reverse the swan dive. Bring your arms out to the side. Come all the way up. Palms come together at the top. Lift your chest. And then hands come back down towards heart center or your chest and hold. Deep breath in. Let it out. We're going to do that again. As you inhale, bring your arms up overhead. And then release your hands, swan dive, forward fold. And cross your arms, grab your elbows. Lengthen through your neck and hold here. Hopefully you're starting to relax a little bit, paying attention to your breath. And release your hands, reverse the swan dive, come all the way back up, arms up, palms together at the top, lift. And then bring it back down, heart center. All right, from here, we're gonna go into our warrior poses from standing. So you're gonna step the left foot back behind you. Nice length between your feet so you can get down into your warrior one. Hands are still at heart. Go ahead and drop your back heel down. Keep your hips forward and bring your arms overhead. Palms are facing each other, warrior one. Next, we'll open up to warrior two. So your hips and shoulders open out to the side. Arms come down to a T. Deep in your lunge. Gaze is over your right fingertips. Feel all of your toes on the floor. You can feel your legs warming up, your core. From here, we're going to go down into extended side angle. So our right hand's going to come down to the inside of the right foot, or you can rest your arm on your thigh. And then your other arm's going to come up and over, reaching overhead. Drop your hips down and look up. Just building a little bit of heat here. Breathe. And come up, back to warrior two. You can straighten your leg. All right, now we'll go into triangle. So your feet are really wide. Your right hand comes down. You can have contact with your ankle, your leg, or with the floor, whichever one. Once you get there, just try to stack your shoulders, reach up through your left hand, and look up. Pulling in your belly, but breathing. So feel your legs engaged, your glutes engaged. Your muscles are working. All right, come up, arms to a T, still wide with the feet. So you should notice that your right toes are turned out and your left toes are turned in. We're gonna go into a revolve triangle. So twist towards your front leg. Your left hand reaches to your right leg or for the floor, and then twist to open up, reach through your right hand. Come all the way up. Bring it back to warrior two, so bend the right knee. Let your air out. As you inhale, warrior one. Arms come up, overhead. Hips and shoulders twist towards the right leg. And then we'll lift the heel off so we can push ourselves forward, back to standing, hands at heart. Reset. Shake it out. Take a breath. We're going to do all of that on the other side. So starting with your hands at heart, we're just going to lunge the right foot back this time. Deep in the lunge, drop the back heel and bring the arms up overhead. Hold. From here, we'll go into warrior two. So open up the hips and shoulders. I'm facing away from you now, but that's okay. Drop the shoulders, gazes over the left fingertips. Feel all of your toes on the ground. Make sure your left knee is not falling inward. Really try to use the glutes, track the knee right over the mid-toes. Next, we're going to extended side angle. So we're going to deepen that lunge, bring the left hand down to the floor on the inside of your foot, or you're resting your forearm on your knee. Once you're there, right arm comes up and over, Big reach, gazes up. And come up, bring it up, back to warrior two. And you can straighten your leg, a little break, and then bring it to triangle. Take your breath, and as you let it out, bring your left hand down to your leg or to the floor, and then twist to open, reach up through your right hand. Try to straighten your legs as best you can. Nice long hold to really let our bodies get into the stretch. Releasing tension, working on patience. All right, come up, arms to a T. Revolve, triangle. Twist towards your left leg. Right hand comes to the leg or to the floor. Once you've got that twist, reach up through your left hand and look up. Breathe. All right, come up. Bring it back to warrior two. Bend the left knee. And then warrior one. Turn your hips and shoulders forward towards your left leg. Arms are up overhead. We're going to lift the back heel off the ground so we can get a little bit of a push. Push yourself back to the top of your mat. Hands at heart. Shake it out. All right, good. Now we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. We're going to step the left foot back first. So we're not stepping too far back like before, just about like 1.5 feet maybe distance between your heels. Your left foot is going to be turned out slightly, and your right foot, the one in front, is going to be straight forward. Your hips are going to be squared straight, and shoulders are squared straight, okay? We're going to bring our hands to our hips. A big breath in, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, keeping the back straight, you're going to push your weight back into your standing leg and then fold over. You can go ahead and fold all the way into a bend and then reach your hands down to the floor. Framing your foot, or you're reaching to your leg, whatever is most comfortable, but also a little bit of a challenge. Working on keeping that left hip squared up, so turn it towards your right leg. You should feel a nice stretch all in the back of the front leg. Tuck your chin down. Every time you exhale, try to let go a little bit more, work yourself more into the stretch. Really trying to release tension and stress today. Just let go. All right, engage your core. Bring your hands back to your hips and stand up. Just bring your feet together, top of the mat. Same thing on the other side. So this time, bring your right foot back. Just enough, but not too much to where your hips open up. So keep your hips squared forward. Shoulders are squared forward. Core is engaged. Hands at the hips. Lift the chest, inhale. And then as you exhale, flat back, fold over the front leg, And then when you've gotten as far as you can with your hands on your hips, you can drop your hands down, round your back, tuck your chin. All right, take a breath, engage your core. Bring your hands to your hips, stand all the way up. Bring your feet together. All right, shake it out. We're almost done with our intense hamstring stretches. We have one more. This time we're going to step out wide on your mat. Doesn't matter which way, but probably the way where you can still see me. Really wide with your feet. Turn your toes in slightly. So inch those heels out way and the toes in slightly. That way we've got a really good grip on the ground. Hands are on the hips still. Legs are straight. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. And as you exhale, fold over those wide legs. Drop your hands to the ground and relax down into it. I always like to point my elbows back and point my fingers in the same direction as my toes. Push down into your palms. You'll get a nice wrist and forearm stretch there if you do that. And then you can walk your hands back behind you, pressing into your palms, still working on that forearm and wrist stretch. Just working your way down into this stretch. Lengthening through your back, thinking about getting the top of your head to the floor. Really working to get your legs straight. Start to walk your hands back forward so they're under your shoulders. And then I like to go ahead and flip my wrists over one at a time so the back of your hand is on the floor. You can do a gentle press down to stretch out the other side of the wrist since we've been pressing into our palms here. You can just alternate between the two, going back and forth. All right, now we're going to inch the feet back together, heel toe, until you've gotten your feet all the way together. And then stand all the way up. Whew. All right, step to the top of your mat. All right, from here, bring those arms up overhead. And then swan dive down into a fold. We're going to plant the hands on the ground, step one foot back, and then the other, go into a downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet to get a nice calf stretch here if you're feeling like it. Trying to flatten your back as best you can, hips high. And then we're going to drop down to our knees. Now we're in this tabletop position. Go ahead and rest the tops of your feet on the mat. Hands are right under your shoulders. Knees are under the hips. We're going to do a few cat-cow. So we'll start with an inhale and arch. So arching means belly button towards the floor. Chest is lifted, looking up. And then as you exhale, we'll round. So tuck your tail, tuck your chin, push away from the ground. let your air out. And then inhale, arch. And exhale, round. One more each way. Inhale. And exhale. And back to a neutral spine. So just a flat back here. We're going to lean side to side into a little glute hip stretch. So just lean over to one side and slightly back until you feel a stretch in your glutes. And then back to the center and over to the other side. So you're just going side to side until you feel a nice stretch in your hips. Keep going a few more. Let's make our way back to a center position or neutral. Go ahead and widen your knees to the edge of your mat, or wider than your hips. Bring your big toes together. We're going to push our hips back over our heels and go into child's pose. Reach your arms out straight. Spread through your fingertips. And then you can rest your chest or your forehead on the ground and just breathe. Think about reaching your hips to your heels. From here, you're going to bring your palms together like a prayer position with your hands, head still down. Once we start, so then you're going to bend your elbows and point your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pushing through your chest. You should feel a nice tricep and shoulder stretch here. If you want a little bit more, reach your thumbs towards the back of your neck. If you're not feeling it, you can work on bringing your elbows a little bit closer together. And then once you've done that, really think about relaxing through your chest and getting more of a straight line from your shoulder to your elbow. All right, release that. Bring your hands back down to the mat. From here, still keeping your hips low to your heels, we're going to reach both arms over to the left as far as you can, and then slightly lift through your left side. So a little bit of a twist. You should feel a really big stretch all on the right side. And then back to the center, over to the right. Same thing, really reaching through your left arm and then slightly lift your right shoulder. Back to the center. Rest your forehead or your cheek on the mat. We're going to reach the arms around the low back and just grab your hands. Once you have your hands together, let your shoulders fall forward. Hopefully by now you're nice and deep in this position with your hips towards your heels and relaxed. Just breathe. All right, now place your hands on the ground. Push yourself up. You're gonna come up to our knees. So come all the way up onto your knees, hands off the ground. We're gonna do a camel pose before we go down to a seated position. So knees are together. We're just gonna place our hands on our low back to start. So they can be in whatever position is most comfortable. I like to do them in this type of position where I'm holding onto my low back with my fingers pointed down. That way I can pinch my elbows together, shoulder blades together, and push into my hips to bring them forward. So with camel, our goal is to open up the front side of the body and do a mini back bend. So find a good position for your hands. You might find them kind of twist around, whatever works for you. Just push your hips forward, squeeze your glutes, lift your chest and lean back as much as you can. If you want to reach for your heels with both hands, you can. And come up. All right, now come down to seated. Bring your legs out in front of you. I need to see how much time we have. All right. Now, legs out in front. Straight out in front of you. You can start with your toes pointed. So your toes are pointed down. You got this long position. Hands are going to go right behind you with your fingers pointed towards your body. We're going to try a reverse plank here. So thighs are together, feet are together, hands are right behind you. Fingertips are probably, 6 or 8 inches behind your hips. You're going to figure out what works for you. Once you get there, you might have to adjust where your hands are sitting. All right, so from here, spread your fingers wide, turn your hands just slightly so that your palms are down on the ground. We're going to press up into our hands, lift the hips off the mat as high as you can, and hold. A few more seconds. Squeeze your glutes, hold your core tight. Three, 2, 1, and down. Good, go right into a forward fold. Reach for your feet or your ankles, round your back, tuck your chin. And slowly come up. From here, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Try to get your heel into your hip crease as much as you can. And then sit up really tall. So you might just hold here. This might be all you want to do for today. That is fine. Just hold on to the top of your leg and foot so you can keep it where it is. And just try to lean over it a little bit. And come up. Switch sides. So the left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Bring your heel into your hip crease as much as you can. Sit up tall, hold your leg, and lean over it. release that. We're going to go all the way to our backs. Pull your knees into your chest. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Lengthen through your neck. Go ahead and release your legs. You can bring your arms out to a T position. You're going to drop the knees over to one side for a spine twist. Once you're there, try to open up your shoulders or your chest. Keep your shoulders on the ground and look the opposite way. And look straight up again. Let's bring our legs back up to the center and then drop them over to the other side. Again, keeping the back of your shoulders on the ground and look the opposite way. And look up. Bring your legs back up. One more time, pull them in. Roll around if you want. Take some deep breaths. We're going to finish here in Shavasana, so a few minutes of just lying here, just breathing, trying to relax your body and mind, trying to release the tension in your face and body. So just go ahead and straighten out. Your legs are straight, arms are straight. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears. Just do a couple wiggles and then release it so that you feel nice and light. Relax your eyebrows and your eyes and your jaw. Try to just breathe and not think about anything, but if you do think of something, you can just acknowledge that your mind is spinning and just try to let it go. Bring it back to your breathing or focus on the color behind your eyes. our attention back to our bodies. Take a big breath. Let it out. One more time. Wiggle your fingers and toes. You can open your eyes if you want. When you're ready, we'll just make our way up to a seated position. All right. Hope you all feel good, nice and relaxed. After you wake up, maybe you'll be rejuvenated for the day. And yeah, I have the videos for the rest of the week posted, and hopefully you can join. And I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye.